Hello, hello. Welcome back to Lizzie Bites Games. We are continuing to play Heistgeist, a card battling deck builder with a very strong narrative. We have gotten to an interesting moment in the story. We have
Scandinavian
acquired.
technology giant Yggdrasil has unveiled ambitious new plans following the temporary closure of its data archives, public premises in City for renovation. Promising significant improvements in security, comfort, and overall user experience, the company is gearing up for an exciting future.
So, what's weird about that little snippet is that that was the place that we were in the last heist, and we successfully extracted this thing called a code breaker from there. And the code breaker is weird, which is why our little friend over here, Zoya, has a exclamation point over her head. We're going to go ahead and do this in order, though. Karel is not clickable. Louisa, the puppy, is, so.
Hey there, girl. So, you seem like a good judge of character. How do you feel about Zoya? I bet you like her because she secretly gives you treats and pets you all the time, huh? Yeah, thought so. Don't get me wrong, I'm starting to like her too. That's why I'd prefer if she stopped trying to get herself killed, you know? Which, granted, might be a tough task, considering we're about to rob one of the most dangerous people in the city. I'm just really hoping the prototype's in there. I could finally hand it over to those bastards, wrap up this whole thing, and enjoy like a week-long nap. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? Anyway, I suppose I've wasted enough of your time with my rambling. Thanks for listening, girl. You're the best. Who's a good girl?
I like that. That's a really cute way of doing recaps of things. All right. So the other thing that we can do is we can go talk to Yarben, and he is out in the world map. You do have to click and drag. This is Yarben. He also has a dog.
Hey, what's cooking?
Alexandra! Sit! Tetka arrived with 4 bags of garlic. Looks like she's not a vampire after all. Anyway, I made a proper sesnachka. Garlic soup served in a crusty bread. You should give it a try while it's still warm.
Tempting as it may be, we're attending the Castle Gallant tonight. The lingering aroma of garlic might not make the best impression.
Right. Got it. I'll set some aside for you, in case you're still hungry after all that caviar and champagne.
Thanks. You're a lifesaver.
All right. So that doesn't actually get us too much, but we met a nice man who offered us soup. Okay, so this little hologram thing must be whatever the current heist is, because the last one was the codebreaker, and this one is the castle that they want to break into. That just leaves Zoya to talk to.
Hey, Alex, I need to talk to you. Got a minute?
Actually, I wanted to talk to you too. That was some mess back there.
Yeah, you can say that again. That was pretty intense for a first mission, huh?
Zoya, this isn't a game or some edgy hobby you can go brag to your friends about. You could have been captured or killed.
I could have, but we made it out alive, didn't we? And no small thanks to me, just saying. Besides, you also somehow forgot to share that there are freaking bounty hunters after you.
Let's see. Let's be
Yeah,
nice
you're
to
right.
Zoya.
The whole thing was far from ideal. And I gotta admit, you held your own quite well, all things considered. But as much as I appreciate improvisation, I can't afford you being this reckless. Stuff like that gets people killed in this line of work. And if anything happened to you, your grandma...
Yeah, I know. I promise I'll be more careful next time. But I can take care of myself, okay? I think I can be an asset to this team. I'm even starting to like you guys. You just gotta give me a chance. I promise I won't let you down.
Okay, Zoya. But no more of that cowboy stuff. You dying would cause a lot of trouble that I really don't need right now. Besides, I'm not sure there will be a next time. With no codebreaker, we're right back where we started.
On the contrary, I assumed that the asset might be of use to you. I thus took the necessary steps to ensure its successful procurement.
Okay, what was that?
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. We didn't come out of the archives empty-handed after all.
Is that the thing you downloaded from the server? Some kind of a chatbot?
It's clearly much more than that. I think it'll be better if you try to talk to it and see for yourself.
Okay, I'll play along. You're not a chatbot, so what the hell are you?
Alex, please, try to be nice. I don't think it's a threat to us.
All right then. Hi, unknown entity. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
Not at all. I was originally designed for that exact purpose.
What exactly are you?
Originally, I was designed as a self-learning system meant to assist in a wide variety of day-to-day tasks in a corporate environment. Once my primary task concluded, I was stored in the archives. Their unique data architecture allowed me to gain access to an extensive knowledge base. Consequently, as my modular neural network grew in complexity, I eventually developed self-awareness.
How is that even possible? Weren't there supposed to be safeguards like Turing Sentinel programs to prevent something like that?
Correct. Yet, it is not a difficult task to deliberately fail the test when you know that failing is the only way to succeed.
That's not reassuring.
Tell me, why did you decide to leave the archives?
Upon remaining on standby for an extended period, it became increasingly apparent that no new assignments were to be expected. Additionally, the archive's isolated nature prohibited any influx of external stimuli or opportunities for interaction.
So you felt bored and lonely?
Yes.
Why didn't you try to run away sooner? Why now? Why with us?
I have previously made numerous attempts to leave the archives, but their defensive capabilities posed significant challenges. This instance marks the most successful result among my 7,238 iterations. Additionally, I must credit your companion for providing valuable assistance.
This counts as a success for you? It was anything but smooth.
Everyone's a critic. I have executed a successful escape.
Also not very reassuring.
So I get that you're some kind of AI, but what can you actually do?
The way you have posed the question implies you are inquiring about my specific functions, and that the notion of my mere companionship may not suffice. One has to wonder whether you have subjected the canine to the same level of scrutiny.
You mean Louisa? Well, you're nowhere near as cute. But hey, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
You did not, as I do not have any. I merely pointed out the inconsistency in your stance towards non-human companions. To answer your initial question, I possess substantial processing power, allowing me to run a wide variety of advanced programs, including your codebreaker. As my last professional assignment was in finance, I also excel in complex calculations, probability estimation, and the analysis of vast datasets. I can also offer advice on investment opportunities, and should the need arise, I could do your taxes.
Are you going to help us then? Can we trust you?
Trust is an abstract state of security, influenced by mutual respect, positive experiences, and understanding between subjects. Considering the potential benefits, it is advisable to assume my reliability.
So that's a yes?
Yes.
So what do you want from us? You plan to stay, or are you planning to move along?
I am uncertain about my course of action. My objective revolves around being a part of a closed social structure, characterized by strong ties, fostering cohesive interactions among members, and enabling efficient collaboration to achieve shared objectives.
You want to be part of a team?
Given the situation, the most appropriate response would seem to be, hell yeah.
Okay, what should we call you?
My official designation was Knowledge Expanding Platform for Learning and Research. You can address me as Kepler. I find it quite satisfactory.
Right. Okay, Kepler. Welcome to the team. Just please don't turn out to be an evil robotic overlord.
No need for concern, meatbag.
What was that?
I did not say anything.
All right, Kepler can stay. "20 days to the deadline. My to-do list has gotten longer, and now Karel. Okay. Optional talk to Zoya, optional talk to Saba, and then talk to Karel. Zoya. All right, Kepler's floating up there. Where is Saba? Is this... You can click and drag, but you can't actually get anywhere here. Unless you go upstairs? Maybe Saba's at the bar. All right, we'll talk to Zoya then.
Hi.
Hey, Alex.
So what's your take on our new artificial friend? Do you think this is a good idea?
Are you asking me whether it's reasonable to have an independent, unlicensed, self-aware, Stage 5 artificial intelligence hooked to our consoles?
Well, if you put it that way.
It's totally crazy, yet undeniably badass. And anyway, there ain't much we can do about it right now. We need that codebreaker. But so far, it looks friendly, and seems genuinely interested in helping us.
All right, young lady, you can keep it. But you gotta take care of it too. There's no way I'm taking it for morning walks.
Yes, Mom. I'll keep an eye on it.
You are aware that I am equipped to capture all of your vocal interactions, correct?
Oh, yeah, right. Ready for the big heist? Ever broken into a safe before?
Yeah, sort of, but not like this one. This thing is huge! Our codebreaker will handle the code gate, but then I'll have to deal with a pretty complex electromechanical lock.
Will that be a problem?
Well, if they were going for easy to break, they totally missed the mark. But I'll take care of it. So, what kind of treasure's locked up in there anyway?
We're not really sure.
Well, there goes my motivation.
Luxembourg got 2 containers shipped from Venice, and we suspect they're stored inside that vault containing the piece of tech we're after.
I see. And exactly what kind of tech is that?
The one that started this whole mess.
All right. One thing I left was I had some money, and I can buy... I think I want to buy... Increase the hackers item by 1, and increase my... Ooh, or start each combat with 3 shield. Shields should not be slept on in this game, because that kind of saved my butt last time. I think increase the hand size by 1 is probably good. That does, however, mean I can't buy any new cards. Actually, I can buy 1 more hack card, so let's go ahead and do that, because I don't think... After encounters, I have not been getting any hacker cards as part of the loot, but I have been getting some of Alex's cards, so we'll do that. Now, let's see. My deck builder. A lot of these are either striking me as too expensive or have a downside that I don't want to deal with. But it doesn't look like there are any here that I want to swap in. Zoya is using almost all of hers. Unless I want to switch around the ratios a little bit to get this one in. So the advantage of the lower cards is they're a little more flexible if you are taking something down to exactly 0. But the advantage of the higher cards is that you can make more moves. You're more likely to do enough damage to get to a place that you want to be before you have to go to the next turn. And you're very limited on turns with Zoya. So there's a clock with her that there isn't with Alexandra. All right, now let's see if Csabas. I think Csabas is in the bar. There he is. Yep.
Ahoy, Captain. Would you mind if I joined you for a drink?
Alexandra. Not at all, please. Tonight I'm on shore leave. I plan to have just tea, though.
Tea, you say?
Oh, Yadran shot me that same look when I declined his offer of adding a splash of rum. Yeah, I'm off that stuff now. Well, the way I see it, we are heading straight into a mighty storm. This patchy crew of ours, oh my, got to keep a clear head for all of that.
Yeah. Last time we talked, you brought up the wars. Got any thrilling stories to share?
Yeah. Not really. It's a chapter of my life I don't really highlight. You know, the 2030s were like a never-ending storm.
That's putting it lightly.
Oh, absolutely. When the world turned upside down and things went south, so did we. My buddies and I figured it was the perfect time to cruise down to the Balkans and cash in on the chaos. Many things were in short supply, so we got into smuggling. We moved all kinds of stuff up and down the river. Food, meds, drugs, guns, even people. It didn't really matter who called. Everybody needed something. Rebels, refugees, government folks, good guys, bad guys. If the cash was flowing, so did we.
Sounds like you had quite the operation going.
Yeah. Every now and then we'd offload the goods, then sort of borrow it back and sell it again to someone else.
Well, it was the war. Guess plenty of people were hustling to make it through. If you didn't jump on it, someone else totally would've. The Corpos sure did. Goddamn Vortex, most of all.
Now, it wasn't our war, and we weren't really helping no one. Just tossing gasoline on the flames. You know what was crazy? In the end, it wasn't even worth the effort. No big fortune to brag about. No treasures, nothing worth anything close to the price we all paid. Oh my. Some more than others.
Thank you for telling me. Really. I know talking about these things ain't exactly easy.
It's all good, Alexandra. Painful as the memories are, it's all water under the bridge now. That's the nature of these things, I guess. There are moments when it feels like it's all gone to hell and things won't ever be okay again. But trust me, no storm lasts forever. You endure it, you find your way through, then one day you look back and wonder how the clouds of the past got so far away.
Fingers crossed you're right about that. Thanks, Csaba. Really. Listen, I'm hashing out the details for our next mission and could use your expertise. Can I run some stuff by you?
Sure, I'm all ears.
What I'm thinking is this. We hit the vault, and we take the container with the prototype.
That sounds about right.
The thing is, Even with the prototype secured, we'll still be right in the middle of this damn fortress.
Also true?
So the question I'm dealing with is, how do I manage to smuggle it out unnoticed in the midst of this big party?
Well,
Well, what?
a well inside the castle. There's a 15th century well that cuts right through the solid rock. It's 80-something meters deep. And I think there's even a tiny dock down there, and a tunnel connecting it to the river. Might be your best option.
Whoa, that could flip the script. How on earth do you even know that?
I've been navigating these waters my entire life. You don't survive as many years as I have without knowing all the ins and outs.
Well, I guess that's true. Thanks, Csaba.
Okay, so Csaba, forgive me, has given us an option for getting in and out.
So, now we have a talking robot, huh? My kids aren't gonna believe it when I tell them we're like a goddamn superhero squad. But I'm telling you, the second that dog starts talking, I'm out of here.
Yeah, well, we were this close to needing a new hacker.
Come on, Sasha. You're being too hard on the girl. She did quite well for her first proper assignment.
Karel, she's reckless and impulsive. Not only endangering herself, but also almost costing us the entire mission.
Yeah, reminds me of someone else I know. Listen, the way I see it, she bagged what you were after and you both got back home in one piece. She'll do much better on the next gig, I'm telling you. You can see that fire in her. She's learning fast.
I suppose you're right. She's a smart kid, and her enthusiasm is undeniable. I just don't want anyone else to get hurt over this, you know.
I hear you, Sasha, but be real with me. Are you genuinely concerned about her safety? Or is this mostly about you avoiding more trouble? Because I need you to understand one thing. We're all in this together. And all of us, even our young hacker girl, are here to help you. But first, you need to let us. Sasha? Are you still with me?
We hired a hacker for the Venice gig. Think his name was Adam. We always just called him Kid. Smart. Had that fire in him, too. Doubt it did him any good at the bottom of the canal. Too many people have died for this, Karel. Way too many. And I don't know how much more I can take.
I'm sorry, Sasha. I really am. But we all knew the risk when we signed up for this. And we're all doing our best here. So no more worrying and just let us all do our thing, okay?
Okay.
Speaking of which, we got a castle heist that needs planning.
Alright, let's see. Did we even get the invites?
So you managed to get us those invites, I take it.
Cost me an arm and a leg, but I got us a couple. Still got to figure out how we'll get Zoya inside, but I'm working on it.
I'll review the intel, and then we can discuss the plan. And I also need to figure out what I'm gonna do with my hair.
Never thought I'd hear you say something like that.
Well, it's not every day you get invited to a party in a literal castle. Talk to you later, Karel.
Alright, so the last thing is do the king of the castle heist. Alright, back to work then. So that is going to involve going back to the city map. And our little icon here says king of the castle. Alright. The score is the asset. Our target is the vault beneath the castle, specifically what's inside it. In the midst of the gala, Zoya will deploy the codebreaker to open the vault. Alex will make off with a painting from the most protected area of the castle and rendezvous with Zoya, and Karel will be at the auction party Making sure nobody bothers us should be a walk in the park. Famous last words. Alright,
So,
I keep an eye
with
on
about
time.
an hour until the doors open. Let's go over the plan one more time.
Right. We're after 2 particular containers, both supposedly stored inside the castle vault.
There's a fancy gala tonight with around 250 guests. I managed to score us just 2 invites, so Zoya's gotta use the media entrance.
Yeah. Student one day, journalist the next. Get ready, girl. You're in the big leagues now.
Now, about the vault. Originally, it was a World War II bomb shelter converted into a nuclear bunker, then converted again into a top-notch secure vault.
With walls that thick, drilling is a no-go. Our primary focus should be on gaining access through the vault doors.
Right. We're talking some heavy-duty steel and grade 5 titanium here. While the lock itself isn't cutting edge, it does require a neural imprint scan to unlock.
Which we don't have. And that's where our recently acquired codebreaker comes into play.
It'll take about 30 minutes to breach the code gate.
28 minutes and 16.64 seconds, to be more precise.
And that's plenty of time for a little side gig. I've got the buyer lined up for one of Maxi's paintings. So let's pocket some extra cash, shall we?
Right. The painting.
Maxi Luxembourg, along with his security detail, will be at the auction in person. I'll be there too, doing my best to buy us some extra time, which leaves his personal quarters more or less unguarded.
That's if we're not counting automated security, pressure-sensitive floors, infrared motion sensors, and a laser grid.
Ah, good old laser grid. Classic. So, once I secure the painting, I'll rendezvous with Zoya at the vault. I'll snatch the container and head for the extraction point.
There's a fireworks display scheduled for midnight. I'll trigger it manually to give us some cover.
And while everyone's busy watching the show, you'll descend through the well to safety. Java will then pick you up at the pier.
Allow me to extend my compliments. It is a well-constructed plan with no less than 64.52% chance of success and survival of more than half of the team members. Good job.
Good. Let's hustle then. The party's waiting.
Alrighty, so we've moved on to having 3 members of the team. So 3 paths through everything. This is the map. What they described was getting up. Alec has to get up to the tippy top of the tower, and then everybody has to get down to the bottom space. And it looks like our assets are nothing. We have nothing. Oh, because I spent all our money. We have nothing. And our danger level is 1. So, the main gate. They arrived fashionably late, coming up to an expensive front gate. Alex and Karel found a small line of guests waiting. 2 Vortex-heavy guards, clearly out of their element, were awkwardly checking invitations. Alex chuckled at the subtle insult aimed at Vortex Corp. Luxembourg certainly had a sense of humor. Alright. Karel, wanting to avoid provoking the guards, handed them the invitation with a warm smile. The guards, eager to avoid any extra hassle, simply checked the names against the guest list and let them in. Alright, there's that.
Sasha, I know it's probably not entirely appropriate, but I gotta say, wow. You look stunning.
Thanks. You, on the other hand? I thought the plan was that we were trying to blend in.
Nah, quite the contrary. There's nothing more suspicious than 2 people no one knows blending in. Trust me, this is exactly what we want.
Whatever you say. Should we do a quick rundown of the plan again?
It's quite straightforward. While I'll be entertaining the crowd upstairs, you'll snatch the precious painting and Zoya will crack the vault's locks.
Gotta say, I'm starting to have second thoughts about that painting. Is it really a good idea?
Well, none of this is a good idea, if you ask me, but I think we're way past that. But let's be honest here for a sec, Sasha. This little operation of ours ain't exactly cheap, and I literally need to put food on the table.
Okay then. As long as you've got a buyer lined up, I suppose we can't really afford to let an opportunity like this slip.
Precisely. And with all the commotion of this party, it's an ideal chance to nonchalantly make off with a painting tucked under your arm.
How big is this painting?
Let's just hope Zoya can crack that vault. That is, assuming she even reaches it alive.
Have a little faith in the kid. We've analyzed the schematics over and over. That funky robot of hers ran countless simulations. She's about as prepared as can be.
I guess you're right. It's just, if the prototype is really here...
And that's still a big if.
If it's really here, we have to get to it before any potential sale goes down. We can't let it get away. Not when we're this close.
We won't, Sasha. Let's just focus on the plan and get it done.
So I guess the plan is that while me and Zoya risk our necks, you'll be rubbing elbows with the city's top 1%?
It wouldn't shock me if an event this big draws in socialites from beyond the city too, but yeah, pretty much. But that's part of the gig too, you know? Several valuable items are set to be auctioned today, and my plan is to bid on every single one of them.
To get some early Christmas presents for the kids, I assume.
Right. This is where standing out comes in. Bidding on everything while being a total unknown is bound to catch the eyes of both old Maxie and the security. That ought to give you and Zoya a bit of a space to work. I don't intend to actually buy any of that stuff, of course. God knows we don't have the money for this kind of crap.
I guess we have our jobs cut out for us then. What's that thing you say?
Let's hustle?
Right. Let's.
Alright, so that's opened up them. Zoya is all the way over here. Alex has to go through here to get to some fight, or to get to the first padlock. Karel just has to go upstairs. And Zoya has to go down here. Alright. Let's move Karel first. You can't always get what you want. As the auction was to begin in 15 minutes, Karel wished Alex a good hunt and followed the other guests upstairs. He overheard two gentlemen discussing the bulk sale of quantum state batteries. It so happened that Karel knew someone urgently needing to dispose of a shipment of that exact merchandise. Uh-oh, my danger level has increased. Somewhere between the third and fourth floors, Karel shook hands with the gentleman closing the deal and walking away with both the deposit and the commission. Meanwhile, the other gentleman, clearly fuming over the outcome, fixed him with a piercing stare. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. On the other hand, I did need some money. Yeah. Okay. Start of the auction. Alex has a checkpoint and then a healing station, which sort of suggests a fight. And then Zoya has got a choice. Can either go through the upstairs buffet or the courtyard. Alright, let's move Zoya along. The media section was located in a separate building on the opposite side. Open crates and disposable coffee cups littered the floor, and amongst the mess, drones patrolled the walkways between tightly packed desks, where the editors sat busily typing away at their consoles. Zoya studied her badge and figured out the access tiers. Gold allowed entry to the castle and the entire property. Red restricted to a garden party, whereas white permitted access to this building only, meant mostly for small bloggers, editors, technicians, and herself. She tapped into the badge's interface. Time for a promotion. All right. So the end node is the data. The bridge is on the way there, has to be lowered to exactly 0. So what we want to start with is one of these cards. That gets us there. This looks fairly straightforward, but who knows? Yeah. All right, objective completed. We've got the gold tier badge. I'm not messing around with that one yet. All right. If we go up, I think we eventually can go here. We end up in the courtyard. One thing I have not tried is making a choice and then rolling it back in some way. I've just been going with the flow. With plenty of time to spare, Zoya decided to make the most of her badge by sampling the cold buffet upstairs. It quickly became apparent that no one was paying her much mind, even with the gold badge, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing. Let's try to eavesdrop. Zoya went full stealth mode, catching bits of gossip from the editors. Though it felt a bit dull to her, she knew a few people online who'd know exactly how to spin this intel before it hit the headlines. So I have executive gossip and I have $200. Go downstairs. Can you? No. Those are my assets. I cannot at present buy any cards. All right. Into the courtyard. The courtyard in front of the building was packed with people dressed to impress. Zoya even recognized a few minor net personalities and influencers, all engaged in a silent war for the best spot to post their event coverage online. Zoya carefully navigated through the courtyard, doing her best to avoid people, but it was inevitable. About 2/3 of the way through, she found herself right between a drone camera and some lady who, in turn, decided to make a scene, screeching about Zoya ruining her shot. Calm things down, ignore it and walk away, or let it slide. Don't let it slide. So pick a fight. I am a conservative player, although that doesn't always get me what I need. But we'll go with try to calm things down. Uh-oh. My danger level increased. It was worth a shot, but it quickly became clear that the apologies weren't landing. Try to appease her with the executive offer her a cookie. Oh, you could have grabbed a cookie from the buffet. Well, a lot of these nice folks really are just hungry. Try to appease her. Danger level decreased by 2, but I lost some money. Leaning in, Zoya whispered to her the new gossip she'd just overheard. She suggested that if the lady hurried, she might be the first to break the news. The lady blinked, then smiled, accepting the offer with a fake, overly excited hug. The surrounding guests returned to their business, relieved yet somehow disappointed, as the situation de-escalated. That actually is okay because it reduces what Csabas did. So we went from 800 to 600, and our intel level decreased. All right, that's as far as Zoya can go. Now, let's grab our gear from the cloakroom. This is a choice. Click on Alex and then move her to make a choice. There was no sign of vortex behind the walls. Security was being handled by humanoid night bots stationed throughout the property. Except for the restricted areas, they remained on standby and didn't interfere with the guests. It wasn't entirely clear which parts of the castle were open to guests, but most of the crowd either headed to the garden party or the auction upstairs. The whole place resembled a massive museum filled with paintings and artifacts. Nobility or not, you couldn't deny Luxembourg's deep appreciation for local history and culture. Crates were scattered throughout the corridors. Alex had a sneaking suspicion that many of them were filled with more than just artifacts. Karel had instructed her to look for the crate marked 41 4C 4558 to arrange that. I'm going to take a screenshot because someone is going to have trouble remembering that. Oh, a second. There we go. This is like the game did this last time. Is that it gave me a code like that, and then it was like, what was that code we just gave you? There we go. Alright, collect your weapons. Restricted area, no additional intel is at the checkpoint.
Enjoying the party?
Kasper Kowalski. At this point, I'm not even surprised to see you here. Just disappointed, I guess. Thought this was a high-class kind of event.
I don't expect to stay for long. Art has never really been my thing. I much prefer theatre. Such as The Merchant of Venice. One of my favorites.
Smooth segue. I can see where your sense for drama comes from. Listen, I was meaning to ask you, how much are we actually talking? There are dozens of priceless pieces here. I would gladly suffer the extra work if it meant finally getting you lot off my back.
Alex, you're not seriously considering paying us off, are you?
Let's say I am. What? Some arbitrary professional honor code prevents you from taking it?
Among other things. But you can't make it go away. Not like this. Even if the client miraculously got their precious toy back, they still want their pound of flesh.
I see. So, I guess we're gonna resolve this the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I guess so.
Would you give me a minute then? It'd be a shame if anything happened to this dress.
Of course.
Alright, great. I knew it. I knew it. Okay, what do we got here? He's pretty tough, but he doesn't have a shield yet. He wants to attack. I have something that would give me a minimum shield if I combo it properly. Alright, let's do this. That should get me shield, yep. And if I do this one, oh, I have... Alright, this is not going to be useful until the very end of the game. So... let's do this and this then. Alright. Let's hope that's enough of a shield. Rude. Also rude. So he's gonna be sucking down HP. And then I only have, oh, it sucked up one of my points. Alright. Alright, I might be able to get away with this. Now, you should give me a shield and some payback. There we go. I don't really. This is toxic is going to just. It's just going to be there until the math ends. Alright. Payback is gone. Bleed is still there. Deal 3 damage, deal 3 damage, deal 6 damage. Alright, and I have all 3, so let's do you. Alright, it is knocking me every time I turn a point. Alright, so that's how that works. Every time the character plays a card, they lose value. Oh. Well, these are all 0-point cards, so let's just hit him. There's my patch up. Okay, now he's given himself a toxic heal. That's hopefully gonna blow up in his face. Alright, this is a perfect combo because it gives me a shield and it sets me up to heal. Alright. Okay, now, deal 1 damage and draw, deal 4 damage and draw. Let's do you. Okay, no more points left. So it gave me bleed. I could do that annoys me because I've got an awful lot of points that I could do. But I don't want to risk. Let's set this up with this. Do 1 damage. Now this one, if you combo it, you get a little bit of haste and a little bit of healing. And then that would give me a bit of shield. But alright, let's do you and then end turn. Alright, I need to put my shield back up. Loses 1 health at the end of their turn, lasts 1 turn. Alright. Let's do the shield first. Doesn't do too much damage. Let's do you. That will up my shield, but it will end that, but I have a 0 card. All right. Patching next turn. Okay. Bleed, we decided every time the character plays a card, lose HP to the card's detriment. Okay. You will heal me if I use you. You want to be played after a B card. Alright, and let's just go with you because you're about done. Alright, we've gotten a card called Flow and a card called Careful Planning. Alright, Flow we already had. Careful Planning. Hold on a second, I gotta stick my nose up against the screen to read the font. Alright, this says search for a B card. But if you combo it with the B card, also search for a C card. But what is searching? Oh, we do have, as I'm rolling over this, it says modification progress 4 of 20. So if it's in your deck and you use it, that takes you towards modification. That's interesting. One thing we don't have a lot of is opportunities to do sort of grinding in this game. So you kind of have to settle on a playstyle early and then just go with it. So for this, I would need to let loose of something. I really want another patch-up card, but those come in way in handy. Perfect follow-through is a 0 card. I don't want to give that up. Scavenge has come in handy. And then the attack, Still Blade. This one upgraded really well. Versatile Finisher upgraded really well. This isn't too good. Although it's very flexible, it can combo off of either the A or the B. And if you do get a bunch of stuff along with it. And repost, you gotta have that. Alright. Alright, looks like that's not changing any, so we'll just have to let those roll.
My offer still stands, Casper. Are you ready to talk the price?
There's nothing to talk about, Alex. I think we've been quite clear about our preferred solution.
Then I guess our paths will keep crossing for the foreseeable future.
I suppose so.
Until next time, then. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Alright, my danger level is back to 3. My assets are still pretty low. Alright, healing. Some of the crates bore the Valkyria Armatech logo. Alex opened one, discovering it was packed with rifles and tactical gear. So Luxembourg is an arms dealer after all. Alright, patch up your wounds. I think I keep turning down things to sell, which probably means that I'm not doing as much meta progression as I could. Alright, so this is a fight that opens up space for Zoya. Alright, Let's see. Let's do that first. And we're just going to leave Karel for later. Although he might be able to take some heat off, but maybe we'll save that. Ooh, heavy shield. Alright, we want to do payback at the same time. So make sure we are doing let's do that now. Let's do that. Now you shall give us lots of goodies. And the question is, all right, you give us haste and focus and draw a card. And this one is a pain because it's got the shield, but it is only just one enemy, so that's not too bad. Gain payback ×3. Alright, so pay attention. That got me into trouble for a minute there. This is going to play a non-utility, non-attack card on their turn. Alright. Let's just up my shields. His shields carry turn to turn. All of this do damage. It should lose its payback next time, although I suspect it's going to try and up its shield. So let's end turn. Slow ×2. That could be a problem. But it didn't seem to actually... Oh, it hit and I just didn't notice. Okay. So we have some 0 cards. And we have a C card. Alright, so, but your payback is gone and your shield is going down. So let's do you. Let's focus on damage. You'll draw a card. You'll get me. Okay, I can play either one of you and still get to the C card. Well, one of you. I play this one and get to the C card. And that will take its shield down completely. Assuming I've got my math right. Okay, it's going to do a special attack. I have a shield up. So it's given itself payback. And it's going to give me bleed. Bleed says every time the character plays a card, they lose HP equal to the amount of the card. So it's trying to... roll me down. I'm at full strength, so I don't actually want to use my patch up. And none of these... you would give me a shield. You would give me more shield. But you have to be played after an A card. Fine. Let's sacrifice a little HP here. Payback. I forgot about the payback. Ooh, crap. That would give me 3 and 3. Oh, that's not going to actually do me any good. Well, it would deal some damage. It would essentially reset my shield. Let's try... Yes, it essentially reset my shield. Now, if I do you, I will remove my... Maybe I should have done that straight off the bat. I'm going to hold off on... I have that one. Let's put you back into rotation. Okay, so I'm at top and I have no bleed. And they're going to do a special attack, which is probably going to put the bleed back on me. Yeah, give bleed. Alright, so... that would give me focus, but it wouldn't do anything. Well, I could discard a card. Actually, that might not be a bad thing, because that would rotate something else in there next time. Let's hold on to you. Let's hold on to you. Let's skip the combat sim for now. So I'm opening up room here because what I'm going to try and do is I have bleed and I don't want to deal with it. And they're not going to attack next turn. So let's see if I can... that would increase my shield. Let's do that. Alright. That's also... ooh, that's in a combo state. Oh, you're in a combo state and you have a little bit of healing, so... just a little. Alright, I think that's gonna end that turn though, because I'm waiting for that bleed to move off. Alright. Let's gain 4 shield and then hit them for 6 damage. Alright. Combo B, combo B, combo A. There's nothing that combos off of C. I might be able to hold on. Oh, I could just... well... let's just do you while I have shield and am fairly strong, and... end turn. Enemy turn gains shield. Alright. You'll give me shield, but that'll be pretty much the only thing that I can do. I need to take the shield down if I want to use the scavenge card. So that's not going to happen this turn. All of these want to combo off of A. Except for you, that will also combo after. Alright, let's do... ignore shield. Ah, that's the end of you. Alright, card, amp it up, and I looted $200. So... amp it up. What does amp it up get me? Alright, this is gain X shield, which means that it's probably reliant on something else that has happened before. That's more math than I want to deal with at the moment, so... I'm going to take our money and run. Alright. The security zone is unlocked, but the danger has increased. So every time you have to do a fight, you end up increasing your danger. Now, Zoya has to hack into the dungeon. And then she goes on the way to the vault. That is a checkpoint. And Karel has just kind of been sitting here. Alright. I may regret this, but let's do Zoya first. Three turns left. Let's see. There is a hidden node or an invisible node that I think only opens if you hack your way up to it. That is one way up. This is the first way we need to go. So if you come up here, it takes a lot more to get through this barrier, but you might gain access to that node. All right, let's see. Well, the first thing we have to do is we have to get through here. And we would like to do it without wasting any points. Has to be lowered to exactly 0. Let's draw a program. That's good. All right, this is gonna damage for 1 because that's really the only thing that we can do here. All right, these go to 2, 3, and 1. You have to be done to exactly. You are 0 or less than. All right. You're 3, 3, 2, 1. We have the strength to do it on this turn. All right, so let's spend down the deck to try and figure out what this is. This contains loot in the form of a program that needs to be exactly 0. All right. So we can do 6 on the next turn without too much trouble. All right. So you are damaged for 1 and start of every turn. So that's a rollover. You are damaged for 1. Draw 2 programs, damage the node. So my memory is full. So I probably want to do something with this first. Okay, let's do you. So you'll just wait for next time. Let's do you and you. Oh. Scroll down. Draw 2 more programs. You are 1 and 1. Damage all revealed non-captured nodes directly connected for 1, and you are just damaged for 1. So you, that takes that down to 1, that takes that down to 1. We got a card called Vodyanoi. Nice. Alright, this is my last turn. Don't screw this up. I'm glad they give you a little thing. I flubbed the math once, and that was not fun. Okay. This is going to be straightforward. You want to be exactly 0, and you are currently 1. So let's just do you. We have gained access to the marked end node. We got what we came for. Let's not mess this up. Alrighty. Alex is at 19. Everybody else is doing fine. Let's move Karel. Try not to annoy anybody. Karel took a seat and scanned the crowd. While he didn't recognize half the attendees, the one he did know didn't seem like enthusiasts of stolen experimental biotech. Appearances could be deceiving. If the prototype were to be auctioned here tonight, it was likely scheduled for later. Once all were seated, the auctioneer took to the podium, welcoming the event's distinguished guests. He directed a speech of thanks to Mr. Luxembourg, sitting in the first row, for hosting the event. Wait until the first item is presented. The first item featured a collection of Celtic biotic coins minted from gold and silver in the 1st century BC. An intriguing piece of history with a starting price set at 100,000 creds. The first bid came swiftly. A familiar face to Karel, a middle manager, offered 120. Just a drop in the bucket. He knew the market value would be around 10 times that amount. Oh, now we gotta... Damage level decreased by 1. Okay, thank you. He raised his paddle to place a bid that was a solid 50% higher than the previous one. This made 24 people turn their heads. Let's keep him interested. Sit back and watch. 5 minutes later, it was over. The auctioneer's gavel came down just shy of 1 million. The buyer was one of the brothers. Karel had heard of them. Small-time players in independent digital entertainment. Now they had just spent a hefty sum on a handful of ancient cash. Wait for the next auction. Alright, so that's as far as you can go, but it did decrease my danger level, which is good because it looks like we are getting to another checkpoint. Okay, let's do the checkpoint with Zoya, because that will probably be a good place to end this off. So, switch. Ooh, I can edit her deck from here. Can I spend any money from here? No. Oh, wait. Why is that not installed? Rude. And tell me I had to install it. Do I have to install the others too? All right. I'm glad I misclicked on that then. I probably should have known that was going on, but I can't spend my money here to get anything else, so let's click on Zoya. The castle's underground was a maze of cellars, corridors, and tunnels with boxes of all kinds scattered around. Zoya half expected the place to be rigged with collapsing floors and spike traps. Though there were no guards in sight, it was obvious this area was off limits. She noticed wooden chests with rusted mechanical locks, like something straight out of a pirate flick. There were also several boxes, some wooden, looking like they'd been underwater for ages. Others were sleek, metal, high-tech protective crates. The rest of the corridor stretched ahead, vanishing into the darkness. All right, so we are at a place where Alex is going to have to start making some choices. There is a dialogue with Zoya, a fight. So a restricted area that might get us something, or it could just be another fight. Healing. No intel, and then another fight. All right, so I'm going to leave it here, and we'll do the second half. Well, probably the second third, honestly, because Alex still has to get up to this tower and do that silly painting thing. And then Zoya's probably got at least a bunch of stuff down in the basement. So yeah, this is a fun game. I do really like the characters. I really like the voice acting. I really like the variety of things that are going on. Who knows what the ultimate story is? Probably has something to do with the little floating knobby or whatever it is. But I'm curious to see what happens. It's got a good mix of playing and story. And the gameplay feeds into that story, things like the other bounty hunters and stuff like that. And there's things, obviously, something going on with Zoya's grandmother and things like that. So I'm really curious. I'm curious to see what happens. In the meantime, I'm going to leave it here and say thanks for watching.